All right, Coach, on this great night, Autism Awareness Night, knock off the top 4 ranked Florida here, shutout by Isabella Vega. Just an incredible night. Just describe the words.
Oh, I don't know if there are any. I just feel blessed. Such an amazing experience to be able to have our community come out and just celebrate awareness, recognition, and inclusion. And then at the same time to watch our team just get after it with our game plan. They were locked in every single pitch, and it was awesome to see.
Given your team's struggles over the last couple of weekends, what was it about having this game that maybe kind of helped turn things around for you guys, put things in perspective?
Yeah. Well, you know what? In the past, we probably would have had a hard practice or tougher practice, but instead we actually had a team get together. And so Steph Bess, our alumni, allowed us to go to her fun lake house, and we just chatted, and they got to hear from her. And I mean, what better way to make an adjustment than hear from the GOAT of UCF softball? So I think that, and then just remembering that we're not alone, and they played for each other, and it was incredible to see. We had some tough outs tonight offensively, and I think that if we're not playing the Florida Gators and the defense that they have, we may even put up more runs than we had. So it's just awesome to see that.
Isabella's no stranger to big moments this season so far. What did you see from her performance tonight, and just the way she was able to kind of take command early on and get out of trouble when she needed to?
Well, if you talk to her, she's probably like, yeah, I need to pitch better. But that's why she's so good, right? She knows who she is. She doesn't try to be somebody else, and she understands that she can utilize her defense when she needs to. And she's got a few pitches to go to, and she just did such a good job of controlling tempo and just throwing minimal pitches tonight. Florida is such a tough offense to throw against because they have such a great eye. They have incredible power, speed. They have it all. They're dynamic. And so to match that is really difficult, but she is a very good matchup for it.
Coach, talk about your defense tonight and how every time it seemed like Florida was going to make a comeback and get a big run. You have players like Madison Simon get outs. Talk about how your defense just got rid of Florida's potential advantages.
Yeah. Well, I think a huge defensive play was Cece's play, the double play on a kind of diving play and then make a double play on it. I mean, that's tough to do in a softball game of how fast it is and how, close the game, the bases are. So that was huge. And then our outfield, they, when they have that confidence and they just run around and fly, you got Ray and Madison Simon, and I know we've been playing Izzy out there, and she's doing a great job too. So just incredible. But their communication was what was big. And I told them, every time you called the ball, you were so confident and loud that we knew you had the ball. And to see them play with that confidence is really big, because we didn't see that same team last weekend. But that, with a young team, we're going to have those frustrations, and then learning from it is the biggest thing. And so to watch them stick together and grind through was really awesome tonight.
Yeah, go ahead.
So going through ups and downs this season, you snapped a 4-game losing streak tonight. How does it feel to get out of that rut and potentially carry on this momentum into Baylor this weekend?
Feels really good. And, they have been through, I think every year we top the toughest schedule that we have, and so this year we're in the top 10 in the strength of schedule that they have played in. And so for them to get this win is so big, because they are put in big time moments often. And even last weekend, the last 4 games that we've lost, I'll even say in the last 10 games, if we haven't come out with the W, we've had the opportunity to go ahead with the winning run or tying run at the plate in every one of those games. So that speaks to our pitching, our defense, and just, that the clutch hitting needs to come when it, and it will. Hitting is difficult. It's hard. And so just to see their approach tonight and how they connected with the dugout, and they passed the bat, and they were tough outs. I love that they got to experience that tonight.
You talked about the lake house, taking that moment to kind of get away and maybe reset a little bit. Was that something in your mind with the young team that this is perfect for what this team's makeup was, maybe to step away, maybe get away from all the pressure, instead of yelling at them and making them, like you said, do a harder practice, maybe getting them away.
Yeah.
Is that something maybe for a team with this makeup was probably fit perfectly for it?
Well, honestly, Sunday, so we were talking, and Coach Noah said, I think we need like a pizza party or something. I'm like, yeah, look, something will come together. And on Sunday, my family and I were at church, and Steph, with all the alumni that were here, she had all this food and everything. She texted me, she said, hey, Bear, we'd love for the family to come over. We have a bunch of food left over. And so we went over there, and I'm like, I just, sitting at this beautiful lake house, and thank you, Steph. Sorry to talk about it. Now people are going to ask about your invite. But, we're sitting there, and I just felt like I was being cleansed. And, I was getting that, like, I see this beautiful sunset, this lake, my kids are having fun, we're all smiling, being able to talk about old stories with Steph and like the grind. And she talked about how she was as a player. And I said, we need to bring the team here. And she's like, that's why I bought this house. Like, I want this. So we literally did it the next day. And so we had people fishing. We have all kinds on our team. We had people going down the water slide, and all I'm thinking is like, this better not blow up in my face, like no injuries, And then we had people fishing. We had people swimming the pool. We had people just reading a book under the tree. Like, everyone got to just kind of cleanse their soul, feed their soul, really. And so it was just, okay, let's get back to it. And it was really cool because this water slide, it's awesome. If you go to Instagram and see it on some of our stories, it's a huge hill, and it's literally just tarp with soap on it. And we talked to them about that because they were strategizing. The team was like, okay, if you do this, you go off this way, and if you go here. And I said, guys, you can do that in the game. Like, and they looked at us and they're like, oh yeah. Like, they were coming and saying like, let's get all the soap on our bodies and then we'll, slide down. And I said, you guys are strategizing to win, and you keep helping each other out. And then Steph got to share some stories, and I mean, she's just as incredible of a player as her motivational speech, even though it was all authentic and just like genuine conversation was, we were just all standing, like you could hear the pin drop. We were all ready to hear what she had to share. And it was just real stuff about the grind, and, there's no way the GOAT of UCF softball ever struggled, right? She leads the home runs and everything, but she did. And she shared that. And she talked about how her teammates, like, she could rely on them. They would dig into her. And that's UCF softball. And that's what she talked about. And it's so cool that we can represent the past, the present, and, the future that way. So, yeah, to be able to do that, I think it just kind of all came together when it was supposed to. Considering
that your last game against Florida marked the beginning of kind of that skid period, what was the difference in this ninth game that you saw from tonight versus in Gainesville?
Well, they studied, right? So we got to see the same pitcher that at the end there, and we were working on trying to get under her drop ball, and you saw us all like getting excited when they foul a ball off up, and so we studied that. But at the same time, like, we knew, all right, we didn't play our best, and we were in that game too. And so to be able to, play them in a home and home, and I think we're going to try to keep doing that as often as we can because they're such great opponents, and we get awesome crowds on both sides. But to be able to do that, like, gives us an opportunity to study and then go back at it. But every team goes through, like, I don't know if I want to use the skid word, but every team goes through the ebbs and flows of this game. And it's tough. It's a very difficult game. And then, to know that you're going to fail 6 to 7 times and that's successful out of 10 it's hard to deal with. Like, it messes with your mind sometimes. So to learn and understand that and, like, really stay true to our culture, our core values, is the biggest thing. So to be able to, learn from that game, learn from the last couple of weekends, because we're supposed to protect the Plex here, and we had not played our best at home, and that's not like us. So I'm glad that, we decided to do it tonight.
You had that silent first inning for the Ultimate Awareness and Acceptance game tonight. Now, as memory serves, I don't remember that. So how, that being a thing before, so how did that come about, and what was it like to kind of experience that, especially since Aubrey got her home run during that?
Yeah. Well, actually, I think we did do something last year, but the first year we did not. And it's a learning, it's a work in progress. So a lot of people will send ideas or even suggestions or even sometimes critiquing, because we're still learning, right? And it's an ever-going process of like what's acceptable, what's how's it evolving, and all of those things. And so someone had mentioned that was something that they did because there are some stimulus that affect others, and so we felt that was important, just like holding up, I think tonight was the K with the autism colors on it. And so being able to do that and recognize those things, we just get feedback from the community. That's honestly how we did it, and we encourage it because we're learning and growing with it too.
So then what was it like to have Aubrey hit the home run during that time? Like no sound from the PA box, just bat on balls, cheer the crowd.
I mean, it was awesome. It honestly felt like we had planned it out, and she attacked the pitch she was looking for. Cece got on right before that with a great at bat. I thought Ray had a great at bat to start the game off, and so I think it just built up, and she did what she was supposed to do. Yeah.
One more pitch.
How do you keep the momentum from something like this forward? Because you had that Arizona weekend, and then everything happened after that. So now now with this major win, how do you kind of keep the momentum going?
Yeah. Well, I think like something that people don't think about is like traveling from Arizona and coming back. We got back, Monday morning at I felt like it was like 4 a.m. and it took, some of us got sick and things like that we don't talk about. We don't make excuses, but like it's a real thing. And when I say some of us, like even I did, and my brain was kind of in the fog a little bit. And so that affects us. So, that's going to continue to happen with the travel of our conference, especially for us, because we have to travel the furthest. And so we're going to have to learn those things, I would think. And then also navigating, should we give them another day off? Should we do, maybe 12 more hours of recovery, and understanding those pieces as well. But I just think that we're going to continue to learn from it. Again, I mean, when I asked them to raise their hand, the last time that anyone was here that beat Florida, no one on the current team had done it yet. And so that, and we've done it in my time here. So that told me, whoa, we have a really young team still. Even with some of the older girls that we have that have done a great job, we have a really, really young team. And so, we have to learn from that. They have to learn from that. We have to learn from that.
Awesome. Best luck and wake up, Coach.
Thank you.
Congratulations.